Coach, could I open up with a statement about today's game?
Yeah, certainly disappointed. The games always play out a little different than the stats look, and when I look at the stats, it's that third quarter is what is glaring, right? We lose 6-1 in that third quarter. Otherwise, we're in it at that point in time with the first and the fourth being tied up and losing that second quarter by 2. We came in at halftime and we had a couple of failed clears that they turned into goals. In the first half, we had 4. In the stats, it might say only 3 failed clears, but we stat differently. They turned the 4 failed clears into 2 goals, and that is something that we can fix, and we're going to fix. Villanova is a athletic, older team, a lot of 5th-year guys. And they play a certain way on defense where they get after you a little bit. And I thought we responded pretty well in the beginning, and then certainly at the end. But the end part was a little bit too late. We had some shots, but unfortunately, I think we missed the cage a bunch. I'll have to take a look at it. And I think, as you guys know, we had a couple of guys out. Not that we had guys that had played in games like that before, and they weren't playing. We got beat up in that left-handed attack spot, and I'm awfully proud of Anthony Malika. He's a freshman out there against a couple of guys getting after him, but with Gerard Kane, our leading scorer, Sam Lutfi, and Woodland. All those guys are left-handed attackmen, so 1, 2, and 3 were not there today. But listen, we're gonna get back to work. You win, I love my guys. You lose, I love my guys. And again, it's not the score that I want to see, but we'll have a little bit of time now with what's going on, and then we've got one last game before conference play starts, and we said right from the beginning that that's where we have our eyes. That's where it all matters at this point in time. So, and I would be remiss if I didn't mention that we dedicated this game to Morgan's message. The mental health world that's going on in today's society is brutal, it's an unbelievable foundation, and I am proud to wear this T-shirt, and our guys and our athletic department taking the time and the initiative to stand up to take a shot at mental health.
All right, open up for questions.
So, Coach, with the way that you were able to play a nationally ranked opponent so tight in that first quarter, would you say that was the best quarter of this season so far for the Pride?
I appreciate the question, and I would love to join in on your answer. I would have to. I thought we played really well in that first quarter against the best opponent that we played thus far. Taking nothing away from the opponents that we played, because we played some pretty good teams. Michigan, Merrimack, Navy, all those guys, right? But I thought that we went punch for punch with that, and even in the second quarter, it wasn't a profitable quarter for us. But for the first half to be 6-4 against a pretty good team, it's something to build on. It is, and again, that's why I point out that we had a bad 15 minutes. But when you play against a team of that caliber, you can have a bad 5 minutes and you can lose by a bunch, right? You cannot leave yourself exposed.
Got a goal by Danny DeSanti that really fired up the team. Talk about how that impacted the team when the cards seemed to be going against you.
Yeah, Danny is he is such a unique individual, and I love him, and he's had such a unique path. The one trait about Danny, his eyes do not get white. Like, he's not a deer in headlights ever. Like, we were down by a bunch of goals, and he has a long stick, and he's roll dodging and face dodging and getting a high bouncer that gets tucked underneath the bar, and the guys go crazy. And it's really what we needed. Normally I would be screaming yellow or slow it down or pull it out, but at that point in time, we were looking for that spark, and if it didn't happen, it didn't happen. But it wasn't going to be because we prevented it from happening, or we were trying. If it didn't go in, okay, I mean. But sometimes you gotta take chances when the things are going against you. And I'm awfully proud of Danny DeSanti. He plays his heart out, and for him to be here with us for this year, I'm thrilled.
Coach, you mentioned how high of a caliber team Villanova is, and that conference play is 2 games away. How do you think these games are going to help you guys going into your conference schedule?
Yeah, I mean, listen, this is probably the first time this year, excuse me, this is the first time this year that we played against a defense that was really check first, support second, right? They wanted to get after us a little bit, and for our attack, Madsen, who had a couple of goals today, didn't get a whole lot of playing time last year, was going against some of these guys. Anthony Moliker, Colton Rudd's been around a little bit, but yeah, I was thrilled that we had an experience like this, because now we can go into the Syracuse game going, well, we've seen zone, we have seen a packed in man-to-man, and now we've seen a little bit of a chaotic defense, and now we have a film, and we can break this thing down, and it's another learning experience. We'll get one more in before the conference lights go on.
Coach talks about Madsen, 3 goals, 2 assists. How was he able to be so successful today?
Yeah, Matty he's a wonderful competitor, right? He also, I love him because he drives me crazy, right? You know what he's got? In a weird way, he's got a little bit of Ryan Tierney to him. And I very rarely mention that guy, right? Because it's just, he's gone and that's the end of it. But he's got a little bit of, Coach, if you're gonna yell at me, just yell at me, but I'm gonna do me. And he's doing it right now. And, I'm awfully proud of what he's doing. He's, at one point in time, he was turning the ball over, and I think that he has settled into a pretty good role of when to take some chances, when not to take some chances. Down that far end, with the sweep over the top, right-handed, and he banged one in the corner, pretty good goal. I think the other one was maybe on a face-off win forward, and I don't remember what the third one was, but I'll get a chance to watch it in a few minutes. But yeah, I mean, we need him. And then we need to get, Gerard back. We need to get Sam Lutfi back. We need to get Woodland back. We need to get a couple of guys that can put the ball in the goal. And then the 8 number, hopefully, will go up, into double digits where we can compete.
Coach, Mac Jones faced 29 shots on goal, making 14 saves. What do you have to say about his performance today?
What was his stats?
He faced 29 shots on goal and made 14 saves. What do you have to say about that performance?
Yeah, I mean, listen, Mac is he's wonderful. For him to have double-digit saves, he probably kept it. He kept it there. There was a couple of defensive possessions that and offensive, but defensive possessions, because we're talking about Mac, where we failed him in front of him. There's a couple of that. If you're going to give this team, especially either 66 or 2 or a couple other guys, a hands-free shot inside the paint, as a basketball term, that should be a free throw, right? It should be, 80-90% of the time it should go in, and he bailed us out a couple times. So, thrilled that he's had the games so far, and we're gonna have another huge challenge shortly.
Coach, looking ahead to Syracuse, you have 10 days until that matchup. What are you looking forward to in practice to make adjustments?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't played Syracuse in a while. We usually go up there and scrimmage them. We haven't done that really since the pandemic, so I don't know much about them. Their defensive coordinator and I, Dave Petramalo, we went to Johns Hopkins together. We coached together. We were fortunate to be on a field together and be the last team standing in 2005. I know what type of coach he is, and I've played against Gary Gate an awful lot. They've got some really, really good players. They got some guys that can sling it, and we're going to need, with this little bit of this break, we have to figure out as a staff probably the 1/3, 1/3, 1/3 technique. 1/3 we need to rest and we need to get healthy. 1/3 we got to work on us and get us better. And then the final third will be, let's start to prepare for what Syracuse is going to bring to the table on a Tuesday night in Stewart Stadium.
Coach, thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Guys, sorry again, I